Hi everyone, thank you so much for listening into my video presentation about becoming a big with Big Brothers Big Sisters. So to get started, I will go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Hannah Spears. I am the program generalist and the volunteer recruiter for Big Brothers Big Sisters, specifically for Erath County, but we do have multiple locations all across America. And who we are a nonprofit organization that provides one-to-one mentorship relationships between the youth within our community, children between the ages of 6 and 14, and the adults within our community who are 18 years or older. So essentially, if you were to become a big, we call our adult mentors our big brothers and big sisters, and then we call our youth in our programs our littles, so little brothers, little sisters. So let's say you were to become a big, you would be matched with a little in our program, just one, and y'all would both have similar things in common because what we do is once you apply to become a big, we then reach out to you and set up a meeting to interview you. And so I would be the one interviewing you guys. That is where my program journalist role comes into play. So I would be interviewing you, and throughout the interview, that is where I ask you certain questions like, what do you like to do for fun? What are you interested in? What kind of hobbies do you do? So like for me, I really like sports. I really love animals, food, music, arts and crafts, DIY stuff. I like a lot of different stuff. And that was some of the things that I listed throughout my interview when I became a big sister. And whenever I was being matched with my little, they were looking through our queue of littles that we have, and they tried to find a little for me that matched my interests, preferences, and my hobbies. So we just like to ask certain questions like that to make sure you're matched with somebody that you have a lot in common with so that it's not awkward when you guys hang out. But that's essentially what it's like, kind of what the process is and becoming a big and becoming matched in a sense. Obviously there's a lot more to it, and I'll get more into that in just a second. But I just kind of wanted to explain the relationship dynamics of like between the big and the little. So that's kind of what it looks like. So requirements of becoming a big, it is a 12-month commitment. Obviously, all of you are college students, so most of you are going to be going home during the summertime and the winter breaks. So during that time, we just require that you keep more of a pen pal relationship with your little. In the case that you're not able to see your little in person during that time, so we just ask that you either write each other letters during break, you FaceTime, call, text, email, whatever that looks like for you and your little that you're matched with. That's just what we require of you guys to keep that relationship consistent. We do have a policy that big brothers cannot have a little sister, but big sisters are able to have a little brother if they are open to that. The two programs that we have specifically in Erath County, because we are so much smaller than a lot of our other markets, we have site-based, which is what we call our Lunch Buddies program. So this is going to be for those of you who have more of a fixed schedule. So if you're super, super busy and only have like a specific time and a specific day each week that you're free, this would be the program for you. So this is where you're matched with a little within the community, and you meet with that little once per week at their school that they're enrolled at during, essentially it's during their lunch break, which is about 20 to 25 minutes of your time to sit there and have lunch with them. So it's during your little's lunch break at the school that they're enrolled at, so Monday through Friday whenever their school's open. And you just pretty much sit there and just kind of be their friend and hang out with them and bond with them. And you can also bring, so I've seen matches bring like Uno cards, different types of card games, some puzzles, bring like coloring books. And then also if littles are like struggling with homework or something like that, you can also sit there and help them with their homework too. So that's essentially what the site-based program looks like. The community-based is going to be way more flexible. So if you have a lot of free time and you are like a busybody, so like me, this is actually the program that I'm enrolled in as a big sister. So the community-based is where you are matched with a little and you meet with that little within the community 2 to 4 times per month. So 2 times a month at minimum. And you just go into the community with your little and do whatever you guys like doing together, as long as it's appropriate and as long as their parent and or guardian is okay with it. So what me and my little like to do, for example, is we like to go out to eat a lot. So we go for lunch. I've also taken her shopping. And also this program, speaking of spending money, this program is completely free to you. You do not have to spend money on your little unless you want to. Like, especially for special occasions, if you'd like to get them like a birthday gift or Christmas or anything like that, you're more than welcome to do that, but you do not have to. We do not require that you spend money on your little or anything like that. So I just wanted to make that clear. But in my case, sometimes every now and then, not very often, but every now and then I'll take my little out, like for Christmas, for example, this past Christmas, 2023. I knew I wasn't going to see my little for like 3 weeks. And so, because it was like Christmas break and I knew she was going to be with her family. So I took her out. We had Chick-fil-A for lunch. And then I was like, hey, we have some time to kill before you have to go to your basketball practice. Do you want to go to Five Below? And she's like, yeah. So I took her to Five Below and told her to pick out just a few things that she likes. And I think I ended up spending like $10 and she got like 5 things. It was pretty good. And one of the things she got, I will never forget, she loves Squishmallows and she got this purple and white spotted Squishmallow cow. It had like little horns. It was cute. But that's like one of the things that I did for my little, that it was like one of the only times I ever spent money. And I just wanted to reiterate that and make that clear that you do not have to spend money. This is a program where it's beneficial for you and your little, and it is nowhere near where you're like an additional parent in that kid's life, and you do not have to spend any money on them unless you want to. But anyway, so that's the community-based program. Where you take your little out into the community and do things that you both like doing together. Both programs, we do have a 2 times per month minimum requirement that you have to meet with your little. And if you can't meet with them for that requirement time, we're totally going to understand. Just be sure and communicate that. We have what we call a match support specialist. Her name is Stephanie. And if you just communicate that with her, she will let the parents know, like, hey, so and so can't meet with little Carrie today, like or this week or this month or whatever it may be. I just wanted to let you know, like, they're really busy right now. And as long as you're communicative of that, then we're understanding for sure. So we do have a 1 to 2 month turnaround time for application and matching process. That looks different for every volunteer though. It just really depends on what you discuss during your interview, like what your interests, hobbies, preferences are, and what types of littles we have waiting in our queue. So it really depends, but typically the normal turnaround time for the whole process of becoming a big and getting matched with a little is about 1 to 2 months. So there are many benefits to becoming a big. Obviously, you are giving back to your community in a sense that you are providing additional guidance and support to a youth individual in your community, which is also providing a lasting impact on the younger generations because you're giving them an extra role model to look up to and someone else that they can kind of look at. I mean, like I said earlier, y'all are all college students. A little is going to look up to you guys like, oh my gosh, you go to college. That's so cool. So again, giving back to your community, lasting impact on younger generations, and going back to giving back to your community. That being said, this would be a really good component to put on your resume, just because it does show that you served your community in a positive and beneficial way. So employers are going to look at that. Most employers are probably going to know what Big Brothers Big Sisters is. So if they see that on your resume, it's going to give you some extra brownie points. And then lastly, you can receive service hours. And so like PD points, course credit hours, just depending on what types of things that your teachers allow you to do for this program. It just depends. And then if you're in a certain organization at Tarleton, a lot of the time they require you to have service hours. And if you do become a big and you're spending time with your little and putting forth those service hours with your little, then we're able to sign off on whatever hours your organization requires you to have. So, like I said earlier, I am a big sister myself in the program. This is my little, her name is Annie, and I wanted to give a little backstory on her and why she's in the program. So, her mom wanted her to join essentially because she is very, very shy. And so, her mom wanted her to gain more self-confidence and she wanted her to become more outgoing. She will be in the fifth grade next school year, or this upcoming school year, I guess you could say. And we have been matched for about 7 months now. And I can tell a huge difference just from personal experience with having my own little. I can see the growth in her. Because when we first were matched, it was like trying to pull her, like literally trying to pull teeth to get her to have conversations with me because she was so, so shy. And now she's the one initiating the conversations. And a lot of the time, I can't even get a word in because she's just talking, talking, talking. And I love it because I'm like, the growth that I've seen from you used to barely talk to me, and now I can barely even talk because you won't stop talking. So it's just really cool to see your little, just kind of find their confidence within themselves, like that self-confidence, and really gain that within themselves through you. So it's pretty cool. This is Annie and I at one of our match events. So to tell you all a little bit about match events, so going back to the 2 times per month minimum meeting requirement that we require you and your little for you and your little to meet. We do host one match event each month, and this counts towards one meeting with you and your little. So we provide this meeting for you and your little, and basically we pick a place in Stephenville that host our organization to have all of our matches come. So all of the big brothers, big sisters, little sisters come together and they all get to hang out together. We provide food, drinks, and at least one activity for you and your little to do. So this was one of the, oops, sorry. Ooh. Okay, sorry. This was one of the match events. This was the one in November of this past year that we went to. And I'll get more into that in just a little bit, but here's just a few more pictures of Annie and I. So this is the day we went to Chick-fil-A, and then we went to Five Below whenever she got that cow plushie or the Squishmallow. And then I just recently got married, and Annie, her mom, and her aunt all attended my wedding, actually. So that is so sweet, very special memory. I'll remember that for the rest of my life. And she was so excited to be there, and they all got to eat the food that we had. It was just a really good time. So, okay, so going back to the match events, this was our monthly match event for October. Obviously, we like to do like themed match events. So we did painting pumpkins for October for Halloween. So we did it at the Cross Timbers Fine Arts Council, in here in Stephenville on the square, and they had this blackout room where there was like black lights and neon paint, and the bigs and littles, so the matches, they got to go into this room all decked out in plastic, and they got to splatter paint pumpkins. And here's just, and like I said, we always provide food. This was our November match event, and this was at a local gym that is family owned here it was like right outside of Stephenville, actually, but a lot of the matches came to that one. Here's some of the matches that are playing together. And then our December match event, so we did Christmas ornaments and Christmas crafts for the matches to do together. Here's just some pictures of some of the matches that were there. And then we didn't have one January because most of our bigs are actually college students. So we wanted to allow the college bigs to get a break during their winter break time for college. So we did have one February though for Valentine's Day. And we had all of the matches write Valentine's cards to the troops overseas. So this is me and Annie. We had a cute little photo backdrop for all the matches to take pictures in front of. And then this is all of our, not all of our matches, but most of our matches showed up to that match event. So quite a bit of us. This was the March match event. We had all of the matches meet at the Tarleton football stadium, and some of the Tarleton football players actually came out and showed the matches, a lot of the football plays, which was super cool. And they also took them into the new locker room, and a bunch of the littles got to try on the football helmets. So they were super excited. And then we did have an end of the year May match event before all of the college bigs went home for the summer. So this was at the same gym that we had the November match event at. And we had Fuzzies cater this one. So we had a big nacho bar. It was super good. And that's pretty much it. So I kind of just wanted to have this presentation and show you guys the benefits of becoming a big and just really the big impact that it makes on the little, because obviously, like I shared my story with Annie, she has grown so much since we've been matched together, and I'm excited to see how much more she grows as an individual. And if you are interested in signing up and just want to learn more, if you scan this QR code, that's just filling out an inquiry form. Like I said, just letting me know that you'd like to learn more about our programs. If you do fill one out, make sure that you select West Central Texas down here at the bottom as your region, just letting me know that you're within Erath County. You can also call, text, or email me. My personal number is over here on the left, and that is my work email right there on the bottom. So thank you guys so much for listening to me. I hope that you all enjoyed my presentation and are all interested in signing up to become a big with us, because it's honestly super rewarding. But thank you so much. I hope you'll have a great week.